So here she is an American poet. She was an essayist and also the feminist here. So repetition of word in the same line is called as repetition, and if it is in different lines then it is called as anaphora. P is repeated in prancing proud. That is the beginning of the word per sound is repeated. Okay. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Hello everyone. A warm welcome to all the young minds of Class 12 CBSE. I am Dr. Shalini, your English teacher at Prep School. Today we are here to discuss one of the poems prescribed by your board, that is Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. Yes, there are lots of lessons, poems for you about tigers this time, isn't it? So the Tiger King, all this one. Okay, so let us get into the poem now. We'll see what we are going to understand in today's session, what is there in today's session. Okay, so we are going to understand about the poet first, then we'll move on to summary with the literary devices. We'll understand the new words, rhyme scheme and the theme. Okay, so new words I'll be just explaining to you as and when we come across that. I have not included the separate slides over there. So let us begin with our session now. So let us begin with the introduction of the author here. Okay, so she is the poetess here. Okay, so she is Adrienne Cicely Rich. We can call her Adrienne Rich. Okay, so here she is an American poet. She was an essayist and also the feminist here. Okay, so she was one of the most widely read and she was influenced the poets of the second half of the 20th century. Okay, so they all took her as a role model. Okay, she actually influenced very much all the poets during that time. She talks about women's experience in her married life. In this poem, she is actually talking about a married woman's experience during her marital life. Okay, so she has tried to explore the inner feelings of a woman who is living under the dominance of men. Okay, so you know in America this is not usually seen, but she is trying to capture the emotions of the woman who is actually dominated by men in her married life. Okay, so let us move on to the summary stanza by stanza. Okay, so this is the first stanza here. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So here you can see she's talking about the tigers. That means she's talking about the emotions that are undergoing in her. Okay, what she is experiencing. Okay, so here Aunt Jennifer is the protagonist. That is, she is a woman the poet is talking about. Okay, so she's talking about the emotions of this Aunt Jennifer. Okay, so you can just observe the rhyming words that are there in this stanza, which will be carried on to the whole of the poem. You can see screen rhymes with green. Okay, and tree certainty. So this is different. Okay, so we can just see there is a rhyme scheme over here. That is, you can just write A, then B, C this way. Okay, so this way it continues to the whole of the poem. Okay, so there are few literary devices. Let us talk about the new words a little later in the coming slides. So I'll just talk to you about the literary device. Okay, so anaphora, the use of same word in two consecutive lines. Okay, so they do not and they pay. So here you can see they word is repeated here. Okay, so this usage of words that is being repeated, so that is called as anaphora. Okay, so repetition of word in the same line is called as repetition, and if it is in different lines then it is called as anaphora. Okay, so now we have metaphor also, the use of topaz to describe the yellow color of tigers. Okay, so bright topaz, she refers to bright topaz over here. Okay, so that means she's talking about the color of tigers in the second line when she refers to the color bright topaz. Okay, so this is there in first stanza. Okay, so let us move on to the next stanza now. Okay, so Aunt Jennifer's finger fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So here you can see the wedding band. Okay, the poet is talking about the wedding band, which is actually very tightly tied to Aunt Jennifer's hand. Okay, that means she is bound by something. Okay, so Aunt Jennifer is controlled by something. That is what the poet is indirectly telling over here. You need to concentrate, you need to read in between the lines to understand the feelings of a woman here. Okay, not only in marital life, you can feeling of being controlled, right? So that one you can understand. If you are being controlled by somebody, then you feel that kind of prison kind of feeling you will have, isn't it? That freedom will not be there. Okay, so the same feeling is here also, that is experienced by Aunt Jennifer. Okay, so she experiences that. So there is only one literary device that is used over here, that is alliteration, that is the F sound is repeating over here. Okay, finger fluttering, so this way F is repeating here. Okay, so Aunt Jennifer's finger fluttering through her wool means she's trying to experience her feelings, she's trying to understand her emotions, means she's trying to touch the tigers. Okay, though her feelings are very bright colored, though she wants to express it like in the form of a tiger trying to pounce on somebody, it wants to come out, the feelings want to come out, but she is not able to express it. Okay, so that is what the poet is talking about over here. Okay, so find even the ivory needle hard to pull. So that ivory needle also, it is very difficult to be pulled because it is so very hard. Okay, so let us move on to the next stanza now, that is the third stanza. It's a very short poem, so easy to understand. When aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So here the poet is talking after her death also, means now she is dominated by men, that is her husband, and even after her death she will be known that she is that person's wife only. She will be controlled, she will be like everywhere she is known, like everywhere it will be known that she was controlled by her husband only. So even till her death she will be in the same way, she will be controlled in the same way. So initially she was controlled and that will be continuing till the end also. Okay, so from the beginning she is scared to express her feelings, so till the end she will be like that only. Okay, so in the beginning she is actually suppresses her feelings, so same way that she gets used to it and she suppresses all her feelings is the actual meaning of this stanza. Okay, so her tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid, means her tigers, that is the emotions only that will just prevail there, it will never come out, it will just be prowling over there. So that is what is the actual meaning here. So unexpressed feeling remain in her mind. Okay, so we have literary device, again we have alliteration here. P is repeated in prancing, proud, that is the beginning of the word, per sound is repeated. Okay, so this is the third stanza and the summary of this third stanza. Okay, so now we'll move on to the new words that are there in this poem. Okay, so at first we have this prance. Prancing means to walk or move around with high springy steps, means they'll be jumping around, that is the actual meaning of it. Okay, so they don't stay in one place. Okay, you can see the puppies, right? You can get the best meaning you can get it is from the puppies, that is prancing. Okay, so they don't stay in one place. Okay, especially few breeds, you know, they don't stay in one place, they keep jumping, so that is called as prancing. Even the small babies you can consider. Okay, so whenever they are very young, at a very young age, they keep on jumping here and there, they don't stay in one place. So that is the actual meaning of prancing. Okay, so then we'll move on to topaz. Topaz is the color. Okay, so bright yellow colored stone. So that is usually you're referring to something like a gemstone or something. Okay, so which is very bright color, yellow colored stone, that is. Okay, so that is topaz. Then we come to denizens. Okay, so here an animal that lives or is found in a particular place. Okay, so denizen means here in this form we are referring to, it is referring to some animal that lives in a particular place. Okay, so here it is referred to a tiger. Okay, this bright color, the topaz color animal is actually a denizen that is living in a particular place. Okay, so then we have sleek. Sleek is nothing but elegant. Okay, so elegant means which looks very presentable. Okay, it's very good looking. Then we have chivalric. Okay, chivalric means being very courteous, especially to women. Okay, so there's a behavior of people you can talk about. Okay, being very courteous towards women, so that you can call it as chivalric, or an act of a gentleman. Okay, a person who is very respectable towards the women. Okay, so he respects women very much, so that person will be chivalric. Okay, so that is what the poet is talking about over here. Okay, so then we talk about ordeals. Ordeals means the extreme severe tests or maybe experiences or maybe some difficulty what a person faces. So that is called as an ordeal. Okay, so coming to the next one, prancing. As I told before, here it is actually used as a verb here to move around proudly. Okay, so not to stay in one place, it will be moving around very proudly, not at all in one place, with high spirits. Okay, with lot of energy, that will be moving around. Okay, So at last we have fluttering, to move in quick or irregular motions as if being agitated. Okay, so fluttering, you can see, you can get this fluttering meaning from a butterfly. Okay, so you can see butterfly fluttering its wings. That means too actively it will be moving its wings. Okay, so that is called as fluttering. Okay, so these were the new words that are there in this poem. Okay, so this poem is actually about, as I told you before, the feelings of Aunt Jennifer. Though she is being controlled by her husband, she takes care of her feelings. She wants to express it, but she doesn't want to express it in the way it is coming out. She controls it for herself. Okay, see, whenever you are agitated or anything, you might just speak to somebody like on their face, or maybe you just throw tantrums, or maybe you are angry and you speak too very bluntly. But Aunt Jennifer is not like that. She controls her feelings. She knows how to put it before using the words. Okay, so this way Aunt Jennifer, like you can feel that the poet has made Aunt Jennifer little matured, and this way she trying to express her feelings. Okay, though it is left unexpressed only, so she tries to express it towards her husband. Okay, so Aunt Jennifer's Tiger is all about the experience of a woman. Okay, so let us move on to the next part, that is the rhyme scheme. Okay, as I said before, we just saw the rhyme scheme here. Okay, so the rhyme scheme here, you have it as AABB, and a few places the rhyme scheme doesn't carry as it is. So the first stanza, it is slightly different. It is AABC. The last word doesn't rhyme over there. Okay, AABC in few stanzas. So you can just identify the rhyme scheme there as AABC also, because C in the first stanza you can see that it is not rhyming. Okay, so it is AABC is the rhyme scheme. Just go on marking the rhyme scheme in the next stanzas also. There is a varied rhyme scheme that is found in this poem. Okay, so let us move on to the theme of the poem here. Okay, so what is the theme? Actually, I already told you what is the theme. So it expresses the inner feelings of a woman. Okay, so here the poet is talking about a married woman. Okay, how she is bound by the bonds of marriage, how she is bound by the bonds of her husband. Okay, so in that way, how a woman wants to express her feelings, but it is left unexpressed. So this is the actual theme of this poem. Okay, so the poet has actually tried her best to record all the feelings, all the minute feelings that a woman experiences. Okay, it's a wonderful poem. I would want you to go through that poem in order to understand the inner feelings of a woman. Okay, by this we come to an end of this poem. It's a very short poem. It is very easy for you to understand with lesser number of new words. Okay, so just go through the poem. It takes hardly 5 minutes for you to go through the poem and understand it. Since it is written in a very easy English, it is easy for you to understand. Okay, so please come prepared for the class. Let us discuss about Aunt Jennifer's Tigers in our next session. So let us meet again. I would want you to come with a book and a pencil prepared with your doubts, so that I can get your doubts clarified then and there. So see you soon, children. Please take this as a guide and read the poem. Come prepared for the class. Keep learning. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.